Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mike, and as you can see, I'm a bit under the weather. I've been sick for the past 2 days, but the weather is so good that I just had to go to the beach and record a video for you guys. And today's topic is an interesting one, as I want to talk about how to maximize your battery life and basically how to be more efficient with the DJI Spark by using maximum of the battery every single time. So I have 5 tips that I want to share with you. And as you can see, I'm on the beach. The weather is simply fantastic. There's some birds on the beach in the water, so it's a perfect place to fly. So I'm going to record a bit of drone footage and I'm going to tell you what my 5 tips for maximizing your flying experience are going to be. Stay tuned. So as we all know, the DJI Spark has a limited flight time of around 12 minutes, but depending on the flight conditions, and especially now in the winter when it's colder, you can get less flight time of around 8, 9, 10 minutes in the air. So that's quite a small amount of time that you can spend in the air, so you should use that time very wisely. So in today's video I have 5 tips that I want to share with you on how to use your battery on 100% every single time. My tip number 1 is to scout your location for interesting objects or things you want to film before you even get your drone in the air. Now, you don't really need, in most cases, you don't really need to go in the air just to look around and see what's interesting and what's not, because you're wasting too much of a battery life doing so. So I suggest you do that before you take off and just spend like 5 or 10 minutes just looking around, see if there's something interesting that you want to film, that you want to focus on. For example, some people that you want to shoot, or some interesting movement that is going on, or interesting object, or a whatever it might be. Just think about what you want to shoot before you even take off. That will save you some precious time in the air, so as soon as you get up in there, you will be ready to just go ahead and film whatever you have planned beforehand. My tip number 2 is to try to spice things up a bit and include some low flying shots in your footage, as well as some high flying shots. Now, flying in very high altitude doesn't necessarily mean that your shot is going to be amazing. Yes, it will help you achieve some different perspective of things that most people have never seen before, but this kind of shot definitely gets boring and old very quickly, so try to not use it every single time. Try to include some low flying shots that will definitely give you a good sense of speed, showing you how quickly the drone is actually moving just above the ground. So that's something that I always want to include. It gives a great perspective and gives a great sense of speed. My tip number 3 is to use the intelligent flight modes that your drone already has. Now, for example, the Spark already has some very nice intelligent flight modes that you can use, and try to take advantage of them, as they give you a very nice perspective of the things around you, and they're completely automated, so you don't really need to do anything. You just need to select the object that you want to follow. You need to do that by making a rectangle around the object that you want to follow and press go, and the drone will fly around that object. That's definitely great if you want to follow something, like follow a object or a person, or you want to circle around that object. So make sure you use that and incorporate it with your other footage, just to spice it up a bit and make it a lot more interesting. My tip number 4 is to always record everything when flying. Now, make sure to record even when you're flying backwards to your home point, when you are just browsing and taking a look at the environment around you. Just make sure you're filming, as you never know what you might be missing, and if you're not filming, you will be sorry that you haven't filmed this specific spot. And it's a great idea to just keep your camera rolling at all times. Now, that's especially useful when you're flying at a longer distance and you decide you want to go back. Put the camera straight down and just go back to your home point, but just continue to shoot. Everybody loves those straight down shots, and you're not really losing anything, so it's a great idea to do it. My final tip that is a bit connected with tip number 4 is to use sport mode in case your battery goes critically low and you just want to quickly go back to your home point. You just need to switch on the sport mode and be careful for obstacles in your way, but once you switch on sport mode, you can go back very quickly, much quicker than the normal way to your home point. So that's something I like to do if in case I am filming something very interesting. I allow myself to keep the drone in the air for a few more minutes until I get really down on battery, maybe around 15%. Then it's time to go back and I switch on sport mode and just get the drone back to me as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, so I can get it safe on the ground before it runs out of battery completely. So that's an interesting tip if you want to maximize your battery life and you want to continue shoot for a bit longer. Just make sure you turn on the sport mode and you fly back the drone to you safely. And there you guys have it. Those are the 5 tips that hopefully will help you maximize your battery life and your flying experience in general, and just make you fly a bit more efficiently and use the battery as you are intended to. Now I have 2 batteries and I try to squeeze every single minute out of them every time I go out and fly. So that gives me around 20 minutes of flight time in the air, and for 20 minutes in the air you can capture so many things, especially if you know what you're doing and you have planned well beforehand. So make sure you're using those tips to just make your flying experience much better in general. And I hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments below if you did. Please like, share, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Ciao!